Hello everyone, my name is Cap and welcome back to the channel. Another 7 Days to Die Alpha 16 video. Now this one I want to show you guys some of the new mobs that they put in the game because they added a ton of new creatures to the game, new zombies, new animals, and I want to show you some of the more interesting ones that's there. And they also changed up the way some of them work. So I came over to the school because I got a nice big flat area here. It'd be a lot easier to show you guys. Full disclosure, I am using the debug menu mode so I can spawn these in. I'm not just wandering around long enough to be able to find them. So if you want to know how to do that, I've done a video on how to access DMs. You just open up the command console, type DM, hit enter, it turns it on, and then you hit F6 and it brings up the spawn menu. Now one of the first things I want to show you was the difference between a regular wolf and a direwolf, because the direwolves are the new creatures they added to the game. You can see they're gigantic compared to the regular sized wolves. Now of course they're both extremely fast, but the direwolf can do a whole lot more damage. Now I do have God mode on, so they can't specifically kill me because they can do a whole lot of damage, but even then they can hit me hard enough to break some legs. See, now I'm bleeding out again, so I'm also doing a little bit of flying to try and get away from them. Gotta keep some bandages on. But anyway, this is what the direwolves look like here. So when you hear people mentioning these and them finding these, that's these big bad boys right here running around here. They're a lot bigger, they do a lot more damage. Also, they've done some changes to the bears. The bears, they completely retextured them so they actually look like they have more fur, and they have a zombie bear, which you can see is this guy right here. He is all kinds of haggard, he looks like he's taking some damage, and so we got some new bears here. Like I said, the original bears, they did some reskinning of them, so they look a lot more like bears instead of just some weird blob of hair and stuff now. So we have two different kinds of bears, just as strong and fast as they always were before, but the zombie bears are the really cool ones because they are just hideous looking. Another new thing they added to the game is the ability to have zombies that are always feral. You got the regular zombie cops, which you can see they retextured them here. They kind of glow yellowish, and now they have a feral zombie cop, which is pretty much just like you would expect. They can always run, they're always a little bit stronger, just like the nighttime horde. And then you'll see that this guy over here is the zombie cop that's irradiated, meaning if he hits you and does any damage to you, he can actually cause radiation poisoning stuff too. So there's three different kinds of zombies. And they did this with a lot of the different kinds of zombies that are in here. They'll have a feral version and a radiated version. So now you have a little bit more danger to deal with besides just the guy throwing up on you and exploding all over your walls. Another thing that's been changed with Alpha 16 is they no longer have the giant hornets or the big bees or whatever. They replaced them with these zombie vultures. And so these can actually spawn in as a horde of their own and chase you around. But you can see they're like undead, creepy looking birds. So that's actually a little bit more of a welcome addition than the giant hornets that were flying around, in the many early versions of the game. So they're going to be a lot harder to hit, of course, because they fly pretty sporadically and stuff, but they do a decent amount of damage if they hit you. And of course, if there's a horde of them chasing you around, they can do a lot of damage. Something else that they added that I'm not a big fan of are the snakes here. These things are venomous snakes and stuff, and so they like to hide in all the weeds, and they'll make a little bit of sound when you start getting close to them, but other than that, they may be sitting perfectly still, and these things will do a lot of damage to you if they hit you, and of course they'll poison you, so you're slowly taking damage. But they'll sit perfectly still like this in the grass, and so you don't see them until you go walking up on them, trip over the top of them, they bite you, and now it's like, ah, crap. This video is brought to you by TubeBuddy. If you're a content creator on YouTube, I highly recommend this tool. TubeBuddy is a free browser plugin that works directly with your YouTube page, so you don't even have to leave your channel dashboard to use it, and will completely transform how you manage your channel, such as tag rankings to see where your tags rank, and even suggest new ones to improve search results. Use a social monitor to see who's sharing your videos, with advanced scheduling tools, thumbnail generator, and even bulk editing options for cards, annotations, end cards, and video descriptions. You can make changes to your entire video library with a simple few clicks. So if you run a YouTube channel, you should definitely install it and see what it can do for your channel. Go to tubebuddy.com/cap00 to install it for free today. Now this one is kind of cool, but I don't know for sure if this is going to make it to the final Alpha 16. This may be an Alpha 17, is that there are bandits and survivors and stuff that are wandering the grounds and stuff here. So like right now I've got two bandits in here, and they'll actually chase after each other. Let me spawn a couple of them in here so you can kind of see them. So we got NPC traders you can spawn in. Let me see, with different bandits, survivors. Let's just spawn in one of those. Let's spawn in a bandit melee. So you can see there's several different kinds of bandits and survivors that'll show up on the ground over here. And right now they're causing some null exceptions within the game because they haven't been fully added yet. So you can see those popping up on the video. But eventually they will be added to the game, and that's stuff that you'll be able to get quests from, and of course you have to try and deal with. But right now, I don't even think they even have a hitbox on them. So it causes all kinds of problems if you do spawn them in here. So, but they are kind of cool, just the fact that they're adding them to the game. Okay, now the coolest one of all of these, unfortunately, has been delayed until at least Alpha 17. And that is the zombie behemoth. Now this thing is equivalent to like the tank on Left 4 Dead. You can see this thing is gigantic. Now I do have, like I said, God mode on, invisibility mode, so hopefully he won't actually see me here, because if he sees me, hits me even once, I'm going to be destroyed. Now it kind of looks a little bit like a xenomorph, you know, the aliens from, well, the movie Aliens. But these things are gigantic. They can absolutely destroy a shelter or a house if you have in it. They can punch through pretty much any kind of material walls you make. Now, like I said, I know they've officially confirmed that these are going to be delayed until Alpha 17, so we're not going to see them in theirs, but you can still spawn them in if you know how to edit the entity classes. Now, they don't have any hitboxes, so if you do spawn it in on your server or your game, just know that you're going to have to use the command to kill it, because if you try and shoot it, well, it's not going to do anything. Okay, one last thing we're going to do for fun. We're going to see what a zombie behemoth will do to a bunch of the NPCs that we're going to run around. So we'll spawn in a couple bandits. We'll just spawn in a bunch of them, so they're going to roam around and fight each other. They'll probably cause some crashes like this, so just pardon it in the video here. And now let's spawn in a behemoth. We'll spawn in 2 of them there. See if we can keep this going here, because it's going to keep crashing out and stuff, but they should start fighting each other, and, you know, I guess these 2 are just going to dance. Going to show each other some love. But you can see the NPCs and stuff are going to go after them, but of course they can't hit anything. None of these things have any hitboxes, so they're just constantly attacking each other. And of course there's not even a way to kill them, because trying to use the kill all command to get rid of them, it's not going to actually do anything. So we just have to let it sit here and error out eventually and close it out. But they're just going to beat on each other. And that's where I'm going to wrap the video up today. Hopefully this was entertaining to you guys. Maybe showed you some of the new stuff that's going to be there. It's kind of sad that the Behemoth's been delayed to Alpha 17, but I know that they have a lot of work to get on it before they get it out there. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up here. Hopefully you found this useful, and if you did, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button below the video and smash it as hard as you can. And don't forget to subscribe for future videos. Thank you guys so much for your time. You have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later.